Deontay Wilder is without a doubt one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. His professional record is very impressive, and it's crazy that he's competed at this level for so long. We haven't actually seen the boxer in the ring since last year, but he's finally returned, and he intends to fight all the top heavyweights before retiring. So, in today's video, we'll go through just that. First up, could there be an Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Deontay Wilder? According to some rumors, the WBC could order Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz Jr. as a final eliminator to confront champion Tyson Fury. After losing their world championship titles to Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, Wilder and Ruiz Jr. are back on the rise and hoping for another title opportunity. Both of them have already lost their ring rust and are ready to fight once again. The duo will now duel to determine who will challenge Fury for his title, with WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman expected to order the fight. Wilder held the WBC title for 5 years, until being defeated in the 7th round by rival Fury in 2020, then was stopped again, and the last time by the Brit in the 11th round last year. His quick knockout of Helenius was a true return to form, sending a message to the division that he was far from done, and WBC chairman Sulaiman praised his power and character for coming back after his 2 defeats. Ruiz is also on the comeback track after losing to Anthony Joshua by a unanimous decision in 2019. He lost a lot of weight since then, and he's been fighting for the first time in 2 years against Chris Arreola. Next up, how did people react to this? Chris Arreola believes that he won his fight against Andy Ruiz Jr., and he thinks the judges' scorecards are so when he was questioned about a possible battle between Ruiz Jr. and Deontay Wilder, Arreola was quick in explaining why he believes the American fighter would easily win over Andy. He then went on to say that he believes Andy Ruiz Jr. only managed to defeat Anthony Joshua because of the hype around the fight and because he underestimated him. Then, after saying all that stuff about Andy, Joshua said that he takes nothing away from Andy, but Wilder would definitely win in a fight between those two. Andy Ruiz Jr. and Chris Arreola squared off on May 1st of 2021 at Dignity Health Sports Park in California, after Andy Ruiz Jr. had fought Anthony Joshua twice a yearish before. This had to be one of the most hyped up fights in the sport of boxing. Everyone had written him off, and no one was expecting him to knock out the world champion in the form that he did. It was crazy how he went about it, and he did it with style. To put things into perspective, Joshua was considered to be at the peak of being jacked in the boxing world, at least in his weight class, heavyweight. Ruiz was the complete polar opposite. Everyone expected Joshua to run circles over Andy and easily defend his title. They were dead wrong. We're still understanding it when we say this was possibly the best underdog fight ever. Ruiz surrounded and battered the champion, winning the championship for his mother. Coming up, Deontay's got his work cut out for him. Beating Andy won't be as easy as Deontay might be thinking. For him, this will just be a hurdle he has to get through to get to the real deal, Tyson Fury. But after Andy's fight against Joshua, it seems like he has his work cut out for him. Not to mention how the Mexicans won against Quesada. His battle against Quesada was most likely the fastest he's ever finished. The whole match just felt unreal. He knocked him out in the first round with 30 seconds to spare. Do you realize how much time a boxer trains just to be knocked out in not just the first round, but in literally 30 seconds? That must have been painful, and not just physically. But all this isn't to say that Andy's gonna have a clean sweep. Moving on, it won't be too easy for Andy either. Deontay's been training, and his recent wins are terrifying to look at, specifically his fight against Helenius. It was being hyped up for so long, and when it finally happened, the fight was nothing people expected. Helenius rushed forward, initiating the fight. Wilder backed himself into a corner and landed a nasty right hand that rebounded off the ropes. With the round nearly up, Helenius backed Wilder into a corner and tried to take the situation, but Wilder threw a short right hand that hit Helenius clean and knocked him out cold. The poor guy was out for many minutes, until he regained consciousness and left the ring on his own. Wilder improved to 43-2-1 in his career with the victory, his first in over 3 years after losing to Tyson Fury in 2020 and 2021. After the bout, Wilder urged everyone to show more love to one another before recommending a battle with Alexander Usyk or Andy Ruiz as his next opponents. Not to mention, what about Deontay's fight against Usyk? After Deontay called him out at the end of his match against Helenius, Alexander Usyk seemed to be ready to fight the champ, but only after he defeats Fury in the unification fight. It's funny because Deontay's goal is also to fight Fury and Andy, so everyone has their eyes on him, but we're gonna just have to wait and see who will be the boxer that will eventually face the beast in the end. Deontay will have the opportunity to win the other 3 heavyweight championships he hasn't been able to earn if he beats Usyk. However, Usyk and his team are focused on the Fury fight in order to replicate their success at Cruiserweight, where they won all 4 titles in 2018, with a victory over Tony Bellew. Turns out, he was nearly done with the sport. Wilder seemed to be ready to retire from the sport until last May. So, what made him rethink his decision? In Tuscaloosa, a bronze sculpture honoring him was revealed, and the display of love and support during the occasion made him realize how much he means to others. He told ESPN that he speaks the way he does because he speaks with passion and from the bottom of his heart. heart. He stated that people might sometimes relate to him and relate to specific situations that he goes through. He went on to say that when others feel you, you get motivated by it. So he decided that his time in the spotlight was not finished just yet. He wasn't finished delivering joy to people all around the world. As a result, a battle with Robert Helenius, an opponent that he's fairly familiar with, was scheduled. Prior to all three Fury fights, the Finnish boxer was his sparring partner. That's one of the main reasons why this fixture was so exciting to watch. They were both aware of one another's strengths and weaknesses, so the fight was something to remember for a lifetime. And now he might be going for the kill with Andy after he's done with Helenius. Next, Wilder wants a lasting legacy. After everything Deontay has accomplished in boxing, no one could blame him for hanging up his gloves and focusing on spending some time with his loved ones. The 36-year-old isn't really a fan of roller coaster rides. However, after the epic trilogy with Tyson Fury, he actually took a little vacation to Universal Studios in Southern California. The boxer was joined by his girlfriend, Telly Swift, 8 children, a nanny, and a security guard. Despite his reservations, he rode Jurassic World the ride with his children, and surprisingly, he loved it. He's made more than enough money to retire from punching people for a living. In truth, despite everything that he had done, including an unusually long term as WBC champion, Wilder was on the verge of retiring. But clearly, this just isn't enough for him. He wants even more. And guess what? The fans want more too. So as he nears the end of his career, Wilder is keen to leave a lasting impression. Finally, Wilder thinks he's a king. Andy will need to put on quite a show of a lifetime to beat his competitor. Wilder arguably has the most dangerous right hand in boxing, and it nearly killed Fury twice. Even though he eventually lost, Wilder seems like he was pretty pleased by his performances. He's claimed to be a genuine king and warrior, and that's exactly how he intends to end his career. He doesn't want to fade away. He wants to prove his dominance a few more times, so that he will never be forgotten. If he defeats Andy, he will retain his #1 contender position with the WBC. He held the championship for more than 5 years, until losing it to Fury. The Gypsy King's future is far from clear. He's wrongly claimed his retirement several times, and is now negotiating a trilogy fight with Derek Chisora in December. And that's a wrap for this video. Who do you think would win between Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz? Make sure to let us know in the comments below, and as always, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. We'll see you in the next one.